Unbeaten for over 7 years, wrestling standout Antonio McKee has made no secret of his desire to compete in the UFC. And after turning back the likes of Marcus Aurelio, Carlos Prater, and Ronald Jun, he has finally earned his shot. Jacob Volkmann shares McKee's prowess on the mat, but where he holds his edge in this bout is an octagon experience. And with back-to-back wins over Janis Torres and Paul Kelly, Christmas is in top-notch form heading into this New Year's battle. Coming up next, Antonio McKee takes on Jacob Christmas Volkmann. Antonio McKee, born in Cleveland, Ohio, now fighting out of Long Beach, California, long-time mixed martial arts veteran, making his long-awaited UFC debut tonight.
Yeah, and this guy has been trying to get into the UFC for a long time. He's had a very safety-first wrestling style for a long time, but up until recently, he's been really opening up and finishing fighters, and that is what prompted Joe Silva to bring him into the Ultimate Fighting Championship. Very, very strong wrestler, very difficult opponent to deal with.
Antonio McKee had talked for years about wanting to fight amongst the best, against the best in the octagon, and Joe Silva said, hey, go finish some fights and bring it up a notch, and he did exactly that. And that's the interesting thing, Joe, is that McKee had always said, I know that I can dominate and neutralize an opponent, but if you want me to finish him, I'm pretty confident in myself that I can do that as well.
Yeah, he's a very intelligent guy, and, he's taken a safety-first style. Get the W every single time, and he's done that. But in order to be marketable, in order to be someone that, the UFC finds attractive, you got to finish fights. And Antonio has really kicked it up to his credit.
Unbeaten since August of 2003. Winner of 11 in a row, 25 victories in his mixed martial arts career. Antonio McKee. Enters the octagon for the very first time. His opponent, fighting in the UFC for the 5th time, Jacob Christmas Volkmann, 11-2 in his MMA career. Tough start inside the octagon, but now starting to put things together, Joe, coming off back-to-back victories over Janis Torres and Paul Kelly.
He's another very difficult guy to deal with, a really experienced grappler, very, deceptively strong, Mike. Excellent control of fighters. His weakness has been in the stand-up game, and that weakness was exploited by Martin Kampmann. But the style of Antonio McKee really lends itself well to Jacob Volkmann. I think this is going to be a really interesting matchup between two guys that are excellent grapplers.
And we have seen the evolution of Volkmann's game, but even he said pre-fight, Joe, that he wants to open things up more. He said he was more open as a wrestler at the University of Minnesota, and each time he gets in the octagon, he feels more comfortable putting himself at risk to earn the reward that oftentimes comes with it.
I also think a big move is him dropping down to 155, which he's at now, which I think is the perfect weight class for him. He was always very strong in college when he wrestled, but he didn't cut weight. He's one of those weird guys that just fought at what he weighed at and just was so good as a grappler that he was able to pull that off. But he realized that in the Ultimate Fighting Championship, the caliber of fighters is so high, he really has to cut weight in order to perform his best.
Our tale of the tape for this lightweight fight. McKee making his UFC debut. He is 10 years the elder of Jacob Volkmann. Everything else is virtually identical. With the introductions, here's Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, this fight is 3 rounds in the UFC lightweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, a mixed martial artist holding a professional record, 25 wins, 3 losses, 1 draw, standing 5 feet 9 inches tall, weighing in at 156 pounds. Fighting out of Long Beach, California, Antonio Mandingo McKee. And now introducing his opponent, fighting out of the red corner, a freestyle fighter holding a professional record, 11 wins, 2 losses, standing 5 feet 9 inches tall, weighing in at 156 pounds, fighting out of White Bear Lake, Minnesota, Jacob Christmas Volkmann. And when the action begins, our referee in charge, Steve Mazzagatti.
Steve Mazzagatti, our referee. The beautiful Ariani. Set for this lightweight battle.
All right, gentlemen, here we go.
Between McKee and Volkmann. And we are underway. Both men southpaw. White trunks for McKee. Green trunks for Jacob Volkmann. Very low stance for both men.
Both guys, excellent grapplers, as we said before. And Volkmann really pushing the pace, taking the center of the octagon. McKee a little cautious. McKee has a very good side kick. He has good kicks and punches as well, but known mostly for his excellent grappling.
Brown belt in judo, Antonio McKee. Volkmann trying to set something up with a jab, and it was McKee with the counter.
Volkmann can take it, and we saw that in the Martin Kampmann fight. There's that side kick by McKee. He throws that a lot. It's an excellent defensive weapon. Keep guys off him. And it's an unusual angle of attack that you don't see too often.
Around the outside, Jacob Volkmann. Wrestled at the University of Minnesota. 3-time Division I All-American.
McKee so far being a bit cautious, taking his time, waiting for his opening. There, shoots, stuffed by Volkmann. McKee still has him. Volkmann has the wizard. Little battle here. Oh, needed the cup.
They continue. So an early mini win for Jacob Volkmann, avoiding the first takedown attempt of Antonio McKee. And he'll look for it again.
McKee's pushing. Volkmann back up to his feet again. Excellent wizard by Volkmann.
Volkmann knew coming in that McKee has a very, very dynamic double leg takedown. All his takedowns are very good. And so he is prepared for exactly that.
He's known for his excellent conditioning as well. He will keep pushing. Very, very rarely do you see McKee tired in any of his fights.
Professional since 1999, they separate. 2-time California Community College State Wrestling champion. His last loss, as I mentioned earlier, was in 2003.
Volkmann shoots, and he gets the takedown. McKee's on his back. In half guard. Volkmann staying heavy on him. He's got him pressed down on the mat. That's step one. He has his shoulders pinned down. Let's see if Volkmann can get past the half guard of McKee. It's a wide open half guard if Volkmann wants out. He's doing a good job, Mike. Note how he's controlling the head and keeping him pressed down. Excellent explosion by McKee. He's going to get back up to his feet. Well done. Well done.
Just over 90 seconds now on the clock here in round one.
And as I suspected, this is an excellent grappling battle here. Both guys trying to find the weakness.
And the wrestling and the grappling is still the strongest part of Jacob Volkmann's fight game as well. He continues to develop his striking. So this is two good grapplers, Joe, as you mentioned, looking to take an advantage somewhere.
What Volkmann does have an advantage, though, is octagon experience.
Yes.
And that's huge, especially considering the fact that McKee's been trying to get here for a long time. All that pressure, all that anticipation, we could see an adrenaline dump with McKee, which could be very interesting. If we start to see him fade a bit, then you know what's up. You start seeing him taking those deep breaths and seeing his mouth open, that's the adrenaline dump. And it affects guys who are in outstanding shape. It's really an interesting phenomenon. And it all has to do with nerves. And we're seeing a bit of it right now.
Yep.
We're seeing McKee taking some deep breaths.
Hands down at the knees for a second.
Yeah, which is not, I mean, he will recover because, you know, he's a seasoned veteran. But I guarantee you, he's feeling it right now. You can see it in his movement.
20 seconds before the end of this round.
You gotta go. Snap your hands.
Volkmann, though, does not look as tired. Volkmann looks like he's fine.
10 seconds. Go. Go. Move it. Move it.
So McKee now, in between rounds, has got to kind of collect himself, relax, get some deep breaths, and try to catch that second wind.
Step it in.
All right, here we see Volkmann got the double. Took him down. You know, this is probably the most significant moment in the fight since everything else, they kind of basically countered each
A
other.
little scratch in your face, nothing there, no blood anywhere else, all right? All right, so now start snapping your jab, let your stuff go. That leg kick is working, but fake it, all right? You got the takedown, all right? Pressure down on him. Sharp hits. He's already looking at the clock and he's already gassing, okay? So you got to press this guy. Press him hard, okay? Keep it moving going. Look for that leg fakes. Keep it moving going.
Yeah, I see the very experienced Greg Nelson already noticing McKee is gassing.
Doing good.
And as we said, McKee, excellent shape. It's just that octagon shock, you know? Being in here for the first time, all the years of his career, building up for this one moment. You know, it takes guys 2-3 fights sometimes before we really see what they're made of.
Making his UFC debut at 40 years old. Jacob Volkmann is 30 years old.
And McKee's still breathing very heavy.
Round 2. Let's see if Volkmann tries to push the pace a little bit early here, based on what you just talked about and what his corner talked about with Antonio McKee, Joe.
Well, he had the most success in that round. He was able to complete the double. It didn't last long. McKee was only down for a little bit before he got back up to his feet. But the bottom line is Volkmann did hold the top position and did pin him down. And so that was the most significant moment in that first round. Good counter by McKee.
McKee leads with the hook.
Very stiff with his arms, though, Mike. He's throwing arm punches.
That'll cut your cardio quickly, too.
Yes, it will, yeah.
He's lost only 3 times in 30 professional fights. 25 career wins.
McKee with a nice turn there. Very nicely done. Look at this, though. Volkmann is in a weird position. He might have a Volkmann on top.
Basic stop now. Get that leg out.
Well, that was a very bizarre little exchange there.
It's
But
almost
Volkmann-
at first like Volkmann didn't even react, Joe.
Yeah, Volkmann on top, though. Volkmann's got a choke here. He's got the back. McKee's in trouble here.
Leg trap.
Now, remember, Volkmann does not take the back with full hooks in. He likes to just kind of hold on to the back. He had a fight with Paulo Thiago, and in that fight, he was in the back. Well, he took it here. Oh,
Trying to get the choke.
He's got his back. He's got the choke.
Lots of time to work.
Find that choke, Jacob. Basic choke.
You're fine, Tony.
Heavy hit.
3
Going with a
minutes
one-arm
remains.
choke, Mike.
in the round.
Oh, he's got it.
Locking it down.
He's not under the chin, though. He's not under the chin. He's on the jaw. He can still tap him, though, if he's got a good squeeze.
Hips. Drive those heels hard. Arch your hips up. Drive the heels hard. Drive the hips up. Look for
Fine,
it.
Tone. You're fine.
Squeeze your elbow.
He's
Get
out.
low, get low. There it is. Get underneath the chin.
Very interesting.
Trying to adjust again,
Get
Joe.
underneath that chin. Come underneath to the other hand.
He thinks he can get this.
Yeah.
And you know what? The more time goes on, he's got plenty of time here. You know, McKee, if he's tired, is going to get even more tired.
Tight with your gear.
He's in a serious struggle right here, and he knows, you know, he's at check right here.
Don't let him spin aside your guard. Find it.
And
Take it out,
Volkmann
take it out right there.
desperately trying to get to
Come on,
checkmate.
Find it.
He's
looking
getting
for a
that. You
reason,
hear
Jacob.
Greg Nelson yelling at him, find it, find that choke.
Jacob, find it. Get underneath. Square your body underneath. Find it right there.
Great
Dig.
instruction
Dig.
from the corners.
Yeah.
Dig right there, Jacob. Find it, dig.
He's trying it again. McKee's got it on the jaw. He's pushing it up above his neck.
Go under his other arm. Go under your own arm.
What he needs to do, Mike, is he needs to isolate one of these arms, either with his legs or with his arm, trap it, so that he can only defend with one arm. If he can only defend with one arm, then he can sneak an arm under the chin. Another thing he could do is jam the bone of his forearm into the nose and smash it, forcing an opening with one arm, and then sliding underneath the chin with the other arm. This is a battle here.
Keep your legs tight on him. That's it, good.
What he definitely wants to make sure, though, Mike, is that McKee doesn't spin and wind up in his guard. And again, he's got it on the jaw. As long as it's not underneath the neck, McKee's got a little bit of space. McKee's a tough guy. I mean, this sucks. This does not feel good, but he can deal with it as long as it's not underneath the neck. And as long as also Volkmann does not have the left arm behind the head. There's much more leverage if he can get that left arm behind McKee's head as he's choking him with his right arm.
He's fought it off for over 2 minutes now. This position started with about 3 minutes left in the round. 45 seconds and counting.
Another thing, look at that double punch behind the back. Another thing that Volkmann might try to do, Mike, is switch to a body triangle to cut off the breathing of McKee and make it even more uncomfortable. And he's attacking the leg here with his heel. And Greg Nelson telling him to keep going with that. One of the cool things about these prelims is that we really can hear these coaches yell out, because there's not as many people here. He's telling him right when he sits up. What he wants him to do is, he wants, as McKee sits up, oh, look at that.
Right at the end. 3 minutes. Almost he had his back. And McKee able to survive, and we head to round number 3.
Big round for Volkmann.
Yep.
And here we see Volkmann. He's behind him, and this is the position where usually ground and pounds, but he decides to just put those hooks in and flatten them out. McKee rolls, Volkmann gets the back with the hooks in, gets the rear naked, doesn't have that left hand behind the head though, Mike, and that's a big factor in the choke. Having that left hand behind the head, that's where the real leverage comes into place. And McKee at the end able to flip him over and wind up in his guard.
Body up, breathe hard. Snap your punches. Last thing, look for that leg kick. He's got to try to put you on your back this time. He's been denied every time, right? He's going to try hard. Last round, though, this is where it comes into your guts and your breaking of a man right here, all right? You got it. Break him. Everything's doing good. You're doing sharp.
Greg Nelson, that's the voice you heard throughout round number 2.
Yeah, excellent coach. With some great advice there from Mr. Volkmann.
Longtime coach of former UFC lightweight champion Sean Shirk. Third and final round. And Nelson said break him, which is something that Jacob Volkmann talked about, and that goes back to his wrestling days at the University of Minnesota. He said that's how we wrestled. We look to break our opponents. Take their will. Crush their spirit.
Well, this is Antonio McKee's round to make something happen.
Yep.
You know, he's got to realize that the first round, although close, Volkmann got the takedown. The second round clearly goes to Volkmann. He's got to make something happen in a big way. Or this will be his first loss in a long time.
Winner of 11 in a row.
Start with a straight. Snap it now. Good, good, good. Keep pressing him. Keep pressing him.
Nelson talked about the leg kick in the corner. Keep an eye out for it. Volkmann in the green trunks. White trunks, Antonio McKee.
Fakes, fakes, fakes. You go for it, Jacob. Last round, you go.
4 minutes.
Press him. You press him.
McKee, you know, really seems slowed down this round, Mike. I mean, he just threw that punch and then took a deep breath and stepped back.
Press.
I mean, he could be resetting, trying to find his timing, but he just doesn't look comfortable. And there he does again.
Let your hands go a little bit, Jacob. Go. Boom, 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 go. Focus, Mitch. Let it go. That's it. Go. Let it go if you're going to do it.
Greg Nelson really wants Volkmann to let those hands go.
He said, focus, Mitch. He said, let's just let it go.
The thing about Volkmann, though, Volkmann's got to know that, you know, he's an intelligent fighter. He's got to know that McKee has to do something if he wants to win this fight. So Volkmann's waiting on him. He's being very patient, and I think that's a smart thing. I think especially considering what happened in that second round, knowing clearly that he's ahead.
Jacob, come on, you go.
Knowing that the best move that McKee possesses is his takedowns.
Yeah, I mean, he's got to do something, you know, and Volkmann knows it. And there's a counter by McKee, caught him in the left hand there.
About to reach the midway point of this third and final round.
Yeah, very uneventful first half. I don't know what McKee's waiting on. He's got to get something happening here. I mean, right now, you know, he's waited so many years. There's that nice side kick. He's waited so many years to get into the UFC. And this is the last round, and he's clearly losing this fight. He's got to make something happen. I mean, I don't know what he's waiting on. There's a nice left hand. He's landing that good counter left, Mike. He's landed that a couple of times.
2 minutes on the clock.
Gotta win this round. Go. Inside 2. Come on, snap and go.
Nelson, you can hear the urgency in his voice.
Jacob. Come on.
Well, he would hate to have his fighter lose after this, you know, second round, just because he's kind of not. Oh, look at this. McKee's got him. He takes him down. See, now things get tricky.
Don't give him that. You're giving him a round right there. Now let's go. Come on.
And you hear Greg Nelson say you're giving him the round right there.
He's hating. Come on. You got it. Just move your body out. He's got nothing there.
Split him, Tone, split him.
Hey, look for your stuff. Look for it. You know what to look for. Right where you want it, right there.
Volkmann scooting up to the cage.
Keep driving.
He's going to use it to stand up. An interesting point, McKee has been fighting primarily in rings as of late, and he might not be as used to the cage environment and his opponent's ability to, having the ability to get up against the cage, use their back, press up against it, and stand back up again.
And you made the point earlier that the significant difference in these two fighters is the fact that this is Jacob Volkmann's 5th UFC fight, and it's Antonio McKee's 1st.
Yeah, that's a big factor. And Volkmann's a tricky guy to deal with for anybody.
Try to lift it right when you get there. So pull that head out heavy now. Pull him out heavy. Don't give it to him. Don't give it to him.
Volkmann opened with Paulo Thiago and Martin Kampmann,
30 seconds.
two of the best in the UFC's welterweight division.
Well, this gets real tricky, Mike, because I think McKee won this round just because of this. Now, you think about the first round. The first round.
Don't give it to him, Jake. Don't give it to him. Okay, back elbow's head. Back elbow's head. Come on.
The first round, I mean, it looked like Volkmann got that takedown. That was just about it. The second round, clearly Volkmann. We've seen some bad judging in the past, obviously. Anything can happen now.
Yeah, we're about to find out.
Yeah, Volkmann kind of gave away that third round by not doing much.
Fight goes the distance, and the judges will render their decision.
And there's that side kick of McKee. He kind of landed it with the toes there instead of with the heel. And there he threw a couple of punches, got the clinch, completed the double. And that's how the round ended.
Fight. That's right. It was a good job, Tom. Good job. First one in the UFC. All right. You're not even tired. You're not even tired. Ooh, that's a good. What you got right there? Hey, that was a good round. Your standing was on point.
You got to go after him. It's not about who gets who. It's about getting in there, getting busy.
He's trying to finish.
That's what this fight's about. It's about getting in there, getting in there. He lost all the zip on his punches by this round, so it's nothing in his arms left. Got to get in there and be confident with it.
First fight. You got it? Yeah.
Judges rendering their decision. Will it be Antonio McKee or Jacob Volkmann who earns the decision victory here tonight in Las Vegas?
I was the most excited, but you know, he did what he said he's gonna do. He stayed up. Second one's in there.
Here is Bruce Buffer with the official decision.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds, we go to the judges' scorecards for a decision. The judges score it 29-28 McKee, 29-28 Volkmann, and 29-28 for the winner by split decision, Jacob Christmas Volkmann.
Jacob Volkmann, the winner tonight by split decision.